Good morning, Prescott CSL, or CSL Prescott. All right, and so everything is written out right here, and we're going to ignore that. I want to take a moment, even though I feel very grounded in this energy that we are together, but I want to take a moment for a little bit of a gratitude experiment. Are you? You're interested? Okay, good. And I'm sure most of you have done this before. Again, I invite you to have a beginner mind, okay? So we're going to place our hands on our heart, and we're going to breathe into that space that is the divine in us, that light that shines as us with gratitude. So I want you to think about a time that you were succumbed to such appreciation, whether it is something like your grandson running to throw his arms around your neck, saying, "I love you, Yaya," or your bestest friend comes an hour to see you speak, even though she knows everything you've ever said. That appreciation that is the oneness and the gratitude that we are. We breathe that in, and we know that together we're going to create something wonderful here this morning. And I only have 20 minutes to do it. So my name is Reverend Jeannie Soverns, and I have a ministry called Sofa Sundays. And so this is unusual for me to be, one, in shoes, and two, standing up. So I just need you to know that. Normally I sit on a sofa, I take off my shoes, and I have a conversation with my co-minister, Reverend Dr. Michelle Izugu. And then we invite the congregation. Can you imagine? We invite our congregation to join in the conversation. So when I go and speak at churches, I still remember that we are in a conversation, even if you're not speaking to me right now. Right? Our energy is connecting. And so here, I wanted to talk to you today about my mantra that I've had all year. It's called Speak Up, Stand Out, Shine On. Now, I know it might be hard for you to believe that I ever had a problem speaking up, but I did. I'm kind of a people pleaser. I want you to like me. I want you to like me a lot. So I would do things to make sure that happened. And sometimes that meant I didn't speak my truth. I didn't speak the truth that was in front of me, that was inside me. Maybe sometimes I didn't speak up for what I knew to be the right thing. And that is hard. That is hard on our spirit and then on our soul. And now as a minister and previously as a practitioner, that was hard when I didn't stand up for what was right, especially when it was right in front of me. So speaking up can be a bit of an issue, especially in this day and age where we have a little bit of disagreement in our world, in the United States. And, you know, Julia and I was talking about this prior. There is so much division in our country, yet that is one part of us, right? That part that is political, or maybe that part that is religious, or that part that is straight or gay, or however you are dividing yourself from someone else, right? That's just one part of your external situation. That is not the wholeness, the perfection that is the divine as you. So my mantra this year also allowed me to kind of bring out my mission, which is I am here to give God a good time as Jeannie. And let me tell you, God has such a good time as me. I'm a foodie. God loves food. I love to travel and adventure. I love to talk. I love to hug. I love to love. God has a great time as Jeannie. So this is one of the things I'm going to ask you. Does God have a good time as you, Hazel?
Yes.
All right. I love it. This is your mission. You are here to give God a good time. So speak up. Speak your truth. Be that brilliant light that you are. Now, when you're in your home, there are some times, we have a saying in my home. I wanted to go back to the foodie thing real quick. So sometimes we cook different meals. We try anybody not go online and get a recipe? Okay, so sometimes they're not winners, right? And so we'll sit down to eat and we'll be like, better order in, right? And so in those cases, when you have that kind of maybe discord, the easy one for us is we say, this is not a keeper, right? So that's easy when it comes to maybe, a Parmesan that didn't work out. But when it comes to a conversation that doesn't work out, or maybe a friendship that doesn't work out, here's where we're going to take that deep breath and go to gratitude and know about our light and theirs. In the beautiful song we just heard, thank you so much, talks about seeing that light in others. So I invite you to remember that and see that in each other and those outside of this beautiful room. I think I have a quote too from Dr. Ernest Holmes. We must continually remind ourselves the power of our word and our ability to consciously use it for good desired. We must know that truth produces freedom because truth is freedom. It is in the quiet expectancy and in the calm confidence that our work should be done. The results rest in the internal law of mind. It's from the pamphlet, Know Yourself. So remember, that's where our good is. My next one was stand out. Now this I'm good at. I was so excited to come speak here because you had a pastor with pink hair. I was like, wow, I'm not the only one. So, generally speaking, when I walk into a room in my bright caftans and my pink hair, and depending on how they set me up mic-wise, I have jewelry, lots of it. And I'm not quiet, and I don't step aside. I'm here, I'm bold, I'm beautiful, I'm here. And there's a lot of me. I want hugs. I want to be part of. But standing out in other ways, again, standing up, standing for. Ernest Holmes speaks of standing for something and against nothing. That is a grounding and a spiritual purpose that I work on. There are time periods where, well, let's just be honest, people are annoying. I work at a regular job. Now, shining a light and standing up and loving everyone. I have problems some days. Some days people can just get to me. What do you do? For answers to that, please come to the workshop. So we bring this light that we are, and we embrace it, and we remember that others are lights as well. and we embrace them, all of them, their shadow side too. Here's the thing about your shadow side. We can't love everybody and ourselves if we don't accept that. I'm a recovering alcoholic of 27 years. Thank you. But trust me, that first 30, I did a lot. You know, I did a lot. I did a lot of damage to my brain. I did a lot of damage to my heart. I did a lot of damage to the people around me. I didn't realize what I was looking for, that I had this God-sized hole inside me, that the traumas that I had experienced in my life, I was looking to numb them out and move on. These were things I didn't realize. And then at the age of 30, I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. Trust me, my conversation with the universe was not kind. You know, and I was in the hospital having a bone marrow transplant, and I was a baby. Y'all remember 30? I have a 32-year-old baby. I was a baby. I had no idea that there would be more life ahead of me. I was just so scared I was going to die. And I was going to die and go to hell because I'm a good Catholic girl. And by a good Catholic girl, I mean I broke it all. You know, I knew I was going. So at that point, there's a woman in another room, and there's laughter coming from her room, and she has so many visitors. It's unreal how many visitors that come through her room, and always laughing and song and everything. And one day there was this storm, and we went outside, and we were smoking and drinking our coffee and sitting outside in this amazing storm at Walter Reed Army Medical Center. And she said, "Kid, let me tell you something. You got to get a God you can do business with." I said, "All right, how do I do that? How do I do that?" And in 12-step, we call that 12-stepping, taking the message to another alcoholic. And she did that. And she was my first sponsor for a year and a half before she transitioned. And that was the start of my spiritual journey. Because now I had a God I could do business with, but that God was still outside of me. That God wasn't inside or part of me. Oh, that's blasphemy. Do you remember when you first came to a Science of Mind church and heard something like that and you were like, whoa, cult? Yeah, but you know, like what was the worst thing that was going to happen to this backslidden Catholic girl who, you know, was already in AA? I mean, how many cults can you join? So why not? Let's get another one. And so around 12 years ago, I started another 12-step program because alcoholics are annoying too. So I got into Al-Anon. That's to deal with the alcoholics in your life. Sober or not, they're annoying. So I'm going to this Al-Anon meeting, and it's in the hall of this church, and there's all these, you know, sayings on the wall, and change your thinking, change your life. That one stuck out to me so much, right? I'm like, wait a minute. If I stop thinking this crap, it's going to change? I love this. I saw The Secret just like everybody else. You know, but can this really work? So I attended a service, cried the first 3 services. There was a call for prayer. All the practitioners come around you and pray for you. If you have never been inside the circle of amazing practitioners praying, I highly recommend it. It's the best high ever. And I know. Just saying, this is something you want to grab onto. So there I was. And I come in, and I joined right away. I'm not one of these, oh, well, think about it, right? You know, even on a bar stool, I was this girl that said, I got an idea, and we went and did it. All right, so I'm not, my partner hates this about me. I think we should stop. Just stop. But I know that's just stop. Yeah, I mean, if I did not have, thank you, darling. If I did not have my partner, I would be flying away most days. I am that person that is always up here. I need to be grounded. I need to be pulled down to reality. I need to have that. So that's what Science of Mind gave me, and my partner helps with every day. So what did we talk about? We talked about speaking up, standing out, shining on. Okay. How do you shine that light? Where's that light coming from? Well, one, I loved it when our practitioner of the day, John, said about smiling. Smile and the world smiles back. Hugging, you should have 8 hugs a day, 20 seconds each. Okay? I live alone, Reverend Jeannie. I don't like people touching me. Have you heard of COVID? All right. How about I have a solution for you? Ready? What we did to begin this, if you put your hands on your heart, you will feel that calm that comes when you make that connection of a hug with another human. Now, I highly recommend you get a human. But if you don't have one, an alien will do, a pet will do, your hands will do. Because sometimes we need a hug and there's no one around. It's 3 a.m. and we can't stop our brain. That's where that comes in. Shining on. I'm sure I have another quote. This was like 12 pages. I mean, it was a lot. Let's see. Yes, I have another quote from, I love Ernest Holmes. You know who else I love? Thomas Troward. Right? A little hard to read, but I love him. All right. Living this lively, purposeful life by aligning your actions with passion. Ooh, who wrote that? That sounds great. So when you live a life, that was me. I was quoting myself. From Know Yourself Again, when we gradually wake up to our divinity and perfection, it more fully animates us to giving God a good time. Are you fully animated to give God a good time? All right, I'm out of here. Are you fully animated to give God a good time? Oh, thank you. I am. I so am. I want to live every moment of this. I told you about 1997's cancer. What I didn't tell you about was 2019's cancer. At 52 years old, I suffered a heart attack. I had been in the best shape of my life. And apparently, I had a 99% blockage in my widowmaker. Right? I know. Craziness. And when they go in there, they find something in my lung. I started crying. Now I've been in the teachings long enough to know that I can heal myself, I can change my thoughts, and I also know that's the spiritual malpractice that happens in Science of Mind. What were you thinking? If anybody ever says that to you about anything, turn around, say thank you very much, and call me. Because that is spiritual malpractice. Do I think what I think creates things? Yes, I do. Did I need to hear that in that hour? No, I did not. What I needed was the love and the support of people around me who could believe my truth when I couldn't. And that is what your practitioner is for. If you do not have a personal practitioner, get one. I promise you, it is much easier to call somebody that you have been talking to on a regular basis than when somebody you haven't and you're alone in that spiritual desert, loneliness. You're welcome, practitioners. You should be busy later. It's a good thing to have. In the 12-step program, we have sponsors. You have that spiritual mentor that helps you along. So in this time period together, we talked about speaking up. So when our spouse makes something disgusting, we say, this is not a keeper, right? And we stand for something instead of against anything. And we're going to shine our light. We're going to shine our light and give God what? That's right. We're going to give God a good time. All right. What I'm going to do now is anchor all that in prayer. You with me? All right. In this beautiful, effervescent joy bubble that is CSL Prescott, that is the divine energy of God, I know and affirm that this is the light of the world, shining in through and as each individual person within the sound of my voice and beyond. So I speak my word for the highest and best, for this beautiful time together that we've had, that each person here has received what they were in the need of, that they have had something healed or revealed to them that helps along the perfection that we know they already are. I am so grateful. I am so grateful for the manifestation of this now, in this energy, in this divine, beautiful world and light that is CSL Prescott. So I say thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, life. Thank you, source. Thank you, energy. Thank you, pattern of perfection, for all that we are. And I let it go. I let it go into the law that only says, yes, my beloved, yes. Calling it good. Together we say, and so it is. Namaste.